Hello, I'm Elizabeth Fields, and I'm the librarian for the School of the Sciences and the School of Nursing and Health Professions. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about using CINAHL Plus with full text, one of the databases that we often recommend to nursing students. This is one of our most popular databases for people in the nursing program because it does have a very strong nursing and clinical focus. It is not so good if your topic is on more like public health or healthcare management or psychology, so depending on what you've chosen to research, you can give it a try and see if it works for you. CINAHL is an EBSCO product. They're a company that we get a lot of our databases from, so if you've used the library resources in the past, you may have used a database that looks a lot like this and behaves a lot like this, but it does have some features that maybe weren't available in the databases you've tried before. So a couple of things you'll see when you first start using it. You have a couple of places where you can type in keywords. It starts with 3 boxes by default, but you can click the plus button to give yourself room for even more keywords. When you start typing in the boxes, the database will often give you suggestions based on what you're putting in. So here, for example, it's suggesting that I look for allergy or allergies plural. You can add additional search terms in here, and you can use these Boolean operators and or are not in between them. So here, for example, I can say allergy or allergies and pediatrics, so this will hopefully find me articles about kids with allergies. I guess I could say allergies or pediatric, in which case I would get articles that are about kids that don't have allergies. So this may not be the best strategy for you. I'm going to put it back on and. Most of the databases will also let you truncate your search terms, meaning that you can replace part of a word with an asterisk. This is helpful in case you're looking up a word that has multiple endings or beginnings. So if, for example, I type in pediatric, I'm just going to find the word pediatrics. But what if I'm also interested in the words pediatric or pediatrics or pediatrician? Instead of typing all of this stuff in one row, I can simply add an asterisk to the end of pediatric, and then this will find all endings or forms of the word. A couple of options down here. Some of these you've probably seen or used before. There's the option for full text, so you get only articles that we have in full text and that you can read today. Publication date, so you can look for articles published before a certain date, after a certain date, or between a certain date range. And peer-reviewed articles that have been vetted by experts in the field. But there are some options down here that you may not have in other databases. These are kind of specific to CINAHL. So a couple of the ones I want to highlight are research article if you only want primary source articles. Unfortunately, there's no option for just secondary source articles in CINAHL, which would be really nice. You can find only articles where either the first author, the lead author, is a nurse, or any author is a nurse, if that's important to you. There are some options down here where you can limit by the sex of the patient, or the study subject, or the age group. So if, for example, you're only looking at infants of a certain age, or children or adolescents, all of these will help you narrow down your search. So once you've narrowed down all your options, go ahead and click search. You should get at least one result, we hope. And these will be a mix of mostly articles in CINAHL. Some of these will be available to you very easily, others you'll have to do a little bit more work. So some of them you'll see are available in full text in either HTML and or PDF. And this is great because they're right here in the databases. So once you click on them, they should open up in your browser window, and then you can read, download, print, save, email them. Some of the results will work a little bit differently. For example, here's one where there's no option for HTML or PDF full text. Instead, there's this full text finder link, and this is what you want. If you click on there, it will try to find the full text. Sometimes it'll pop up right away. Other times you might need to click on this Go to Full Text Finder results. You'll get a screen that looks like this, and then you'll click on one or more of these links. And this should take you to the database, or sometimes it's the publisher's website where you can read that full text. So it works a little bit differently, but the end result is the same. I have the option to download or view this PDF, and then here is my full article for me to read right away. For other articles, you may not see any of these options at all. Not HTML full text, not PDF, and not full text finder. For example, here's one where it doesn't have any of those options. The only option is to request through interlibrary loan. So if we don't already have the article, you can request it. If you click on the link that says request through interlibrary loan, This is going to ask you to sign into our ILL system using your Stevenson username and password. Once you get logged in, it will open up a new request form, and it should automatically fill in the information about that article you were looking at. So here it has the title, the author's name, etc. You will usually be requesting these as a copy, so we'll ask a library to make a copy or a scan and send it to you. The needed before date is important because this is the date when you absolutely need the article before so that you can use it in your research. For a lot of people, this is like if your project is due on December 10th, then you need the article before December 10th, or else you're not even going to be able to read it to use it in your paper. We suggest that you do not use this as this is the date I would like the article kind of thing. Today is November 24th, so yeah, I could put in that I would really like the article by November 25th, but that might not be feasible because we might not have enough turnaround time. So we usually suggest definitely use this date as the date that you absolutely positively need it. So once you have all that filled in, you can go ahead and click Submit Request. This will send it into a queue for us, and then we'll ask a bunch of libraries if they can get you a copy of the article. We do suggest giving it about 4 to 7 days of lead time, especially with the holiday coming up. The last thing I would suggest is that if you can find one article that's related to your topic, then you should be able to use that to help you find more sources on the same subject. For example, here's that one that we looked up using the full text finder option. So here are the names of all the authors, and I can see what else they've written that's possibly on the same topic. I can see the journal that it was published in, so I could see what other articles about allergies are in this journal. Most articles should have major subjects, minor subjects. They could also be called keywords, key terms, subject headings, or just subjects, but all of these describe what the article is about, and a lot of times these will give you ideas for different things that you can search for if you're getting not so good results with what you had already typed in. You can also click on, these are all links, so you can also click on them to find more articles about drug hypersensitivity or whatever. You can also look at the past and the future research of one article to help you lead you to more information. So for example, if I go back to the full text of this article, here it is. If I go all the way to the end of it, here is the list of references that these authors cited, and if you want, you can look up these articles, see if we have them in our library databases, and see if you might want to also use them in your research. That would be all the past research that went into it. The other thing you can do is look for the future research, and the best way to do this is to go use Google Scholar, which is scholar.google.com. So when you go to Google Scholar, if you look up the title of an article, I'm going to copy and paste this. So here is that article that we were just looking at, and then right here where it says cited by one, this lets me know that one person read this and liked it so much that they decided to cite it in their own research, and so this will often help you find articles that are about the same topic but maybe were written more recently. For this one there's only one cited by, I think just because it's so new. For older articles, a lot of times you'll find, dozens or even hundreds of authors who have cited something. These are just a few suggestions for using CINAHL and Google Scholar together, and we'll talk about some of the other databases in a minute.